Welcome to lockdown vlog number 16. Let's play some music and let's drink some coffee. Okay, so the song that you heard over here from La Segunda is something that was recommended to me yesterday by Michael, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but he sent this to me as just a musical input, and I appreciated that very much. Actually, I had this, it's still playing a little bit. Let me turn it all the way down. I had this song in my playlist for years and years and years, but it's one of those songs that you play for a long time and then somehow it doesn't get played anymore until you get reminded by somebody. This is a good song, and right, I know this song, I love this song, and this is also a very good recording. So Michael, thank you very much. Today, before I move on, another thing, I would like to thank you for the friendly comments I had yesterday on yesterday's vlog in my girlfriend's house. And my girlfriend was also very pleased with the kind remarks that you gave her. So thank you very much for that. One of the questions I got yesterday, maybe the day before, I don't remember, is about pricing of audiophile equipment. Why do things need to be so expensive? And as an example, he asked me about my two mono power amps and my preamp. Now these are 30 years old, and this lineup does still exist. You can still buy it. It is made to order because they are hand built, and it is a continuation of this model. And in 30 years, of course, with science and everything improving, it got better and better. And nowadays, if you want to buy one set of mono amps plus the preamp today, new, this will mean you'll be paying about 30,000 euros, and that is divided in 11,500 euros for the mono amps for the pair, but 18,000 euros for a preamp. So understandably the question is why do things have to be so difficult? So that's the question that I want to address today. And I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm not saying I know why this always has to be this expensive. I'm sure there's a few companies that will mark up the price incredibly, maybe just because they can. But there's a few things and a few points that I would like to make. First of all, you can look at what materials are used inside of the equipment. I know that in the new version, the how you call that, I don't know. Anyways, there is used a lot of gold for signal path in the new version. Now gold just has a price, and in a cheap $50 amp there is no such thing as that kind of quality material. Of course there is labor. These things are built by hand. So let's just say that for a complete set, I don't know how long it will take you. But if you order one now, you have to wait because it is built to order. And I don't know how long the man that makes these things takes for that. But let's say he takes 5 hours a day for 5 days. And let's say his hourly wages is 80 euros, which is not uncommon for that kind of craftsmanship. So there you already have 2,000 euros, only somebody sitting at a desk working on this. This is not material, not testing, not making all the materials, buying all the materials. Maybe the question actually should be, here's the lovely Wilsonton, maybe the question should be, why is this only $800? I mean, who is not getting paid in making this thing? I don't know, but I think it's incredible that you can make a quality amp like this. But I don't know what kind of materials they used. Of course, I can only see the outside. I'm not an electrical engineer, so I do not understand. So I think materials, I think in some of the more expensive amplifiers, the volume knob by itself will be costing you more than some of the integrated cheap amplifiers you can buy today. So material is just one thing. But there's another point that I would like to make, because I'm not saying these things should be 30,000 euros. Maybe I could ask the designer how you get to a price like that. That would be maybe a nice video for later on. But here's another point that I would like to make. This set that I have here, and there was a little bit of a revision done to it, but this set that I have over here is 30 years old, 30, and it still plays incredibly good, better than this wonderful quad stack that I've been using for the last few days, and even better than the wonderful Wilsonton we have over here. So my set after 30 years is still playing wonderful. Now the question is some equipment like this Wilsonton in 2050, will it still be playing? And if it does, will it still be better than the rest? Because I've had guests over here sitting in my listening chair, listening to my system. And for example, Andrew, maybe you know him from Vintage Stereo. You can check out his channel also. But Andrew has been sitting there listening to my system and saying, this is the most beautiful thing I have ever heard. And that's with 30-year-old equipment. Another guy, Simon, you may have seen him in some of Andrew's videos. He was sitting there and he was amazed by how complete and how balanced everything is. He even had a problem because now it meant that he had to go back home, listen to his system after now understanding how good a system can sound. And I'm not saying this is the best system in the world, but well, this is pretty good, I must say. But the point I was making, after 30 years, it's still working. Last week, a few weeks ago, I showed you this wonderful Barista transistor radio. Now this is just as old as me. This is from 1965. Back then, you had to pay 400 German marks for this. I did the inflation calculator, and this means that today you would have to pay 800 euro for this little transistor radio. Now that was a lot of money back then and still today, but another fact is that after 54 years this thing is still playing. It is playing wonderfully, and if you have good reception, this gives you an amazing sound. So, is it worth 30,000 euros? I do not know. I do know that after 30 years, after 54 years, these things are still playing. And I'm sure that it would be ridiculous to think that you can get that kind of quality for 700, or this whole stack new, I believe, was some 2,500 euros, and it just doesn't sound as good as my system. And I don't know if this will be working after so many years. I'm sure the CD player will not be playing anymore, or all the things with too much software inside, like the Oppo, like the Blue Sounds, and like the Chromebooks. Those things will not be playing at all, and we already know that record players can last for a very long time. So that's my answer to: should you pay 30,000 euros for this? Well, as a long-term investment, I will say you do get what you pay for. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for your question. Make sure, if you want to help me, make sure to, as I told you, watch the video completely and give it a thumbs up. That's how the YouTube algorithm decides to promote my videos to other people. So if you think that's interesting for other people, give it a thumbs up and watch the video the whole time, because they are also looking at time watched. And yeah, keep those questions coming. This helps me. This is the 16th vlog, and well, I'm not running out of ideas, but I could use some of your help. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you tomorrow.